Hello and welcome to Toku Trivia Time, your one-stop shop for tidbits, factoids, and behind-the-scenes did-you-knows for all your favorite tokusatsu. For this episode, we will be discussing the original Giant of Light, Ultraman. In most Ultra series, the main colors on the heroes are silver and red. But did you know that the silver seen on Ultraman's body is actually spacium? The substance, spacium, not to confuse with specium, the energy they use, is found in abundant quantities on Mars. It was the reason for the Boltons avoiding the planet in episode 2. They don't like it! Much like Tsuburuya's last series Ultra Q, an official dub was produced. Created only 2 months after the first episode aired in Japan, the dub was produced by Taitra Studios. This company would also dub early Showa Godzilla movies. The dub cast featured Peter Fernandez, Corinne Orr, and Earl Hammond voicing most of the characters. If these names sound familiar, that would be for their work on the original Speed Racer and Astro Boy dubs, alongside the early AIP Godzilla dubs. Did you know that before the first episode of Ultraman was aired, TBS was planning on creating their own hero show? Tsuburaya, fearing that it would overshadow their show, scrambled to create a pilot episode. Despite their efforts, the episode was not put into production. However, a full story treatment can be found online. Tetsuo Kinjo wrote a revised second draft of the story entitled Ultraman, a Children's Jamboree. After another revision, the story was complete, and in its new form was called The Birth of Ultraman, an Ultraman premiere celebration. The show would be performed live like later hero stage plays and served as a plot synopsis of what the full series of Ultraman would entail. This would lead to its second name of Ultraman Episode 0, The Birth of Ultraman. Originally, Ultraman was not going to be the hero of his show. This is because Ultraman, or a creature like him, was only meant to show up in Ultra Q. That's not all, as originally the hero of the series was going to be a strange early version of Bemilar. The series would have weekly kaiju on kaiju action. However, due to concerns that the audience wouldn't be able to recognize which kaiju was the good guy, they decided to make a simpler and more humanoid hero. There were 3 different iterations of Ultraman's suit present throughout the show. The first was the A suit. This suit was tailored for Onibin Furuya, but fit poorly, causing him to hunch over in early episodes. This would lead to his iconic stance. This suit and helmet underwent a small change around episode 10, where elements of the upcoming second B-type suit will be introduced. This included defining the red lines and cleaning up the suits with many rough patches. This helmet was made out of rubber with an open mouth. This is because they had planned to make Ultraman's speaking and grunting match up to the movement of his mouth. Unfortunately, this proved far too complicated, so it sat agape until the creation of the new C-suit helmet. The B-suit, which was introduced in episode 14, was better fitting and allowed more room for the actor to move. The suit was sleeker and also more shiny. The eye holes at the bottom of the helmet were also smaller and more hidden. Ultraman's upper body was also now padded, as it helped make the suit look more muscular. The C-suit was most polished out of all of them. It premiered in episode 30 and lasted until the final episode. The suit would also be used for crossovers in later series up to Ultraman Leo. Despite this being the final iteration of the suit from the original series, most modern depictions and figures of the series' main Ultra are based off of the first 2 versions of the suit. Thanks to his work on many of Toho's most popular films, Tsuburuya's film company was allowed to reuse many of the assets from these past projects. This includes many of the suits and noises, some of which include King Ghidorah is the Science Patrol's telephone ring. The roar of Varan was used for a ton of kaiju, including Neronga, the giant dragon, Chandler, Magular, and Aburas. Jira shared both a suit and a roar with the king of monsters, Godzilla. Alien Baltan's iconic evil laugh was borrowed from the 1963 film Matango. In a weird reversal of this, Kamilar would later be used for Hedorah's flying and landforms in the 1971 film Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Much like the reuse of roars and cries, many suits from Toho films and previous characters from Ultra Q were reincorporated into the show. Some examples include Alien Baltan, whose first appearance was in episode 2, was made out of the Cicada Man. This would later be explained as the 2 species being related. Baragon's suit was later remade into Neronga in episode 3, Magular in episode 8, and Gabora in episode 9. Red King reappeared in episode 8 to fight on the Monster Island. The suit would later be converted into Aburas for episode 19. Bemilar was recycled into Gyango in episode 11. Ultraman's grunts and his iconic shout, "Shwatch!" were provided by Masao Nakasone. Nakasone's grunts would be recycled in other series Ultraman would appear in, such as Taro and Mebius. He would even become the voice of Zafy. Although fellow actor Hisashi Kondo was the primary voice of Ultraman, Nakasone was given a chance to voice the character in episode 33. Following a question from the website Henshin Justice's Toma K in a 2013 Monsterpalooza interview, the at the time uncredited Ultraman suit actor Bin Furuya said that despite the large viewings of Ultraman, there were no major pay increases for the actors involved. The 1979 films Ultraman Great Monster Decisive Battle and Ultraman were essentially clip shows. Ultraman Great Monster Decisive Battle contained edited versions of episodes 2, 3, 8, 16, and 25. The film Ultraman, made by Akio Jisoji, contains the episodes he directed. This includes episodes 15, 22, 23, 34, and 35. In 1996, the short film revived Ultraman. Some footage from episode 39 is used, however, it adds a new epilogue depicting Ultraman coming back to Earth to help fight against a second Zeton wave. The film also had a new rendition of the original show's theme and contains a new take on the visuals of the original theme as well. The design process for Ultraman was so trial and error, in fact, that the iconic color timer was added on at the last minute, clashing with Narita's intent to keep the costume simple, which is why he hated it. Ultraman has had many sequels, such as Ultra 7. It has also had some reimaginings, such as the 80s Retcon movie and the 2019 Ultraman anime. The series is set as a sequel to the original series and follows Shin Hayata's son, Shinjiro, as he becomes a new type of Ultra. The original Ultraman served as the inspiration for Shinjiro Hayata's Ultraman suit. Shinjiro was also given many powers from the time his father spent with Ultraman. These include increased strength, speed, and reflexes. Ultraman is seen as an icon of Japan and tokusatsu. So it shouldn't surprise you that there have been many callbacks to him in media over the years. Some notable examples include Homer Ultraman, which is seen in season 15, episode 7 of the long-running series The Simpsons. SD Ultraman, a chibi version of different Ultramen. In the SD line, they have also crossover with Gundam, Godzilla, and Kamen Rider. These games vary from soccer games to fighting games and even puzzle games. Ultraman and Kamen Rider Ichigo once faced off in a movie called Ultraman vs. Kamen Rider. This crossover movie talks about the heroes, villains, and powers of different series in each respective franchise. At the end, Ichigo and original Ultraman fight together to defeat a very strong enemy. A Mario crossover set of figures. Ben 10's character Way Big is inspired by Ultraman. This ranges from his color scheme, his beam attacks pose, and even his cries. Ultraman appeared in Ernest Cline's 2011 novel Ready Player One. However, for the 2018 film adaptation, he's replaced with the Iron Giant. In the DC multiverse, there is a dark evil version of Superman whose name is Ultraman. There have been a wide variety of strange Ultraman merch. Some include a sand pail, an Ultraman hourglass, and Ultraman on a tricycle. Although Ultraman has ended and series with his return failed to actually feature him, he would later appear in episodes and movies with his fellow Ultra Brothers. Over the years, many celebrities have said that they either grew up with Ultraman or were fans of it. Some include, but are not limited to, the boy band NSYNC. In a 2003 Japanese TV concert, the members of the band reminisced about how they grew up watching Ultraman. They all then positioned their arms in pose for a Specium Ray when out of nowhere, Ultraman appears. In a Team Coco interview with Hideo Kojima, it is revealed that he is a massive fan of Ultraman. He shows off his X Plus Ultra 7, his Ultra Series Ultraman, and a beta capsule. The interviewer, Conan O'Brien, however, is not a fan. In 2019, Marvel announced that they were going to be producing an Ultraman comic. The series, titled The Rise of Ultraman and launching in 2020, will follow a depiction of the original Ultraman battling against some of his greatest foes. The series will be co-helmed by writers Carl Higgins and Matt Groom with art by Francesco Mana. This is a really big event, however, Ultraman has actually appeared in Marvel Comics before. In Exile 67, the hero Morpho turned into him. That's it for this episode. If you liked the video and want to see this series continue, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. If you know any cool facts that we haven't talked about, we would love to see them in the comments. And this is where I plug. Hi everybody, I'm Kay, aka Lady Toku Fan, your narrator for this episode. I'm just a gal on the internet who likes tokusatsu, anime, video games, voice acting, cartoons, so on and so forth. If you really want to find me, you can find me on my Twitter, which is at lady_toku_fan. I also have a YouTube channel also titled Lady Toku Fan, but I don't really post much there. Thanks for having me on this episode, Marcos. I really enjoyed narrating it, and yeah, Ultraman is the best, guys. Don't argue with me.